Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches: Colin Anglin vs Melsik Bagdasaryan, Kyung Ho Kang vs Ronnie Yahya, Danny Chavez vs Kai Kamaka, Philip Rowe vs Orion Koss, Cheyenne Buys vs Gloria DePaula, and Brian Barberena vs Jason, which are happening on Saturday, July 31st, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting advice that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advice. In his previous bout, Colin Anglin went up against Muhammad Naimov and ended up getting the victory via unanimous decision in round 3. Naimov ended up landing 73 of 157 total strikes that he let go in that fight. Anglin finished this fight landing 107 of 188 total strikes. In regard to significant strikes, Naimov ended up landing 52 of 126, giving him a percentage of 41%. He landed 30 of 97 significant strikes directed at the head. On the other side, Anglin landed 55% of the significant strikes he threw by landing 88 of 158. In the last fight for Melsik Bagdasaryan, he went up against Denis Buzukja and took home the victory via unanimous decision in round 3. Buzukja ended up landing 77% of the significant strikes he attempted at distance, while Bagdasaryan ended up connecting on 63% of the significant strikes he attempted at distance. Bagdasaryan ended up connecting on 64% of the significant strikes he attempted by connecting on 102 of 157. He landed 52 of 97 significant strikes directed at the head. Buzukja connected on 57 of 122 significant strikes in that fight. Of those significant strikes, he ended up connecting on 21 of 69 to the head. My betting advocate for that match is to pick Melsik Bagdasaryan. In his last appearance in the octagon, Kyung Ho Kang fought Pinjayun Liu and wound up taking home the victory by split decision in round 3. Liu ended up landing 114 of 149 total strikes attempted in that contest. Kang ended the night having landed 108 of 153 total strikes. In the significant strikes category, Liu ended up landing 25 of 53, which means his percentage was 47%. He finished the fight landing 16 of 42 significant strikes aimed at the head. On the other side of the cage, Kang landed 50% of his significant strikes by connecting on 20 of 40. Of all the significant strikes, he landed 17 of 37 pointed at the head. 32% of the significant strikes landed by Liu and 40% of them landed by Kang were thrown at distance. In the last bout for Ronnie Yahya, he went up against Ray Rodriguez and took home the victory by way of an arm triangle from half guard in round 2. Rodriguez connected on 100% of his significant strikes at distance, while Yahya connected on 100% of the significant strikes he tried at a distance. Yahya ended up connecting on 61% of the significant strikes he attempted by landing 8 of 13. He landed 0 of 3 significant strikes aimed at the head. Rodriguez landed 3 of 18 significant strikes in that fight. Looking at the significant strike accuracy, he landed 2 of 16 directed at the head. When discussing the total strikes thrown in this fight, Rodriguez ended up connecting on 15 of 35, while Yahya was 42 of 65 of all the strikes he threw. My betting advice for that match is to pick Ronnie Yahya. In his previous bout, Danny Chavez squared up with Jared Gordon and walked away with a loss by way of unanimous decision in round 3. Gordon ended up landing 138 of 191 total strikes that he let go. Chavez ended the night having landed 42 of 116 total strikes. Concerning significant strikes, Gordon ended up landing 82 of 131, giving him a percentage of 62%. He landed 41 of 89 significant strikes directed at the head. Statistically, Chavez ended up landing 34% of his significant strikes by connecting on 39 of 113. Looking at the significant strike accuracy, he landed 23 of 91 pointed at the head. 81% of the significant strikes landed by Gordon, and 97% of them landed by Chavez, were done at distance. In the last fight for Kai Kamaka, he fought TJ Brown and wound up losing the fight via split decision in round 3. Brown landed 93% of his significant strikes at distance, and Kamaka landed 83% of the significant strikes he tried at a distance. Kamaka landed 47% of the significant strikes he attempted by connecting on 61 of 128. He ended up connecting on 38 of 100 significant strikes directed at the head. Brown connected on 82 of 211 significant strikes in that battle. Of all the significant strikes, he ended up connecting on 54 of 174 aimed at the head. Relating to total strikes attempted in that contest, Brown ended up connecting on 110 of 243 and Kamaka connected on 85 of 155 of the strikes he threw in total. My betting advice for that game is to pick Kai Kamaka. Philip Rowe went up against Gabe Green and wound up taking the loss via unanimous decision in round 3. Green ended up landing 128 of 213 total strikes attempted in that fight. Rowe walked away from this fight having landed 48 of 93 total strikes. In regard to significant strikes, Green landed 70 of 152, giving him a percentage of 46%. He landed 36 of 112 significant strikes aimed at the head. On the other side of the octagon, Rowe landed 48% of the significant strikes he threw by landing 42 of 86. Out of those significant strikes, he landed 25 of 67 pointed at the head. 72% of the significant strikes connected on by Green and 95% of them landed by Rowe were tallied at a distance. In the last fight for Orion Koss, he faced off with Matt Dixon and wound up getting the victory via punches to the head from the crucifix position in round 3. Dixon ended up landing 86% of the significant strikes he tried at a distance, while Koss ended up connecting on 26% of his significant strikes at distance. Koss landed 62% of the significant strikes he attempted by connecting on 67 of 108. He ended up landing 52 of 92 significant strikes to the head. Dixon connected on 29 of 66 significant strikes in that battle. In regard to the placement of these significant strikes, he ended up connecting on 21 of 53 directed at the head. Discussing total strikes attempted in that contest, Dixon ended up connecting on 66 of 111 and Koss landed 143 of 206 total strikes. My betting advice for that match is to pick Orion Koss. Dayan Baez fought Montserrat Conejo and was on the losing end of this fight by way of unanimous decision in round 3. Conejo landed 136 of 168 total strikes that she let go. Baez ended the night having landed 49 of 87 total strikes. When talking about significant strikes, Conejo ended up landing 15 of 41, which gave her a rate of 36%. She landed 10 of 35 significant strikes aimed at the head. On the other side of the cage, Baez ended up landing 47% of her significant strikes by connecting on 31 of 65. In the last fight for Gloria DePaula, she battled Jin Yu Free and was defeated by way of unanimous decision in round 3. Free landed 70% of the significant strikes she tried at a distance and Paula ended up landing 87% of the significant strikes she attempted at distance. Paula connected on 49% of her significant strikes attempted by landing 31 of 63. My betting advice for that match is to pick Gloria DePaula. Brian Barberena faced Anthony Ivy and wound up getting the win by way of unanimous decision in round 3. Ivy ended up landing 54 of 105 total strikes that he let go in that fight. Barberena ended the night having landed 175 of 250 total strikes. When it comes to significant strikes, Ivy ended up landing 36 of 84, which gave him a percentage of 42%. In the last octagon appearance for Jason Witt, he fought Matthew Semmelsberger and wound up taking the loss via a punch to the head in round 1. Semmelsberger ended up connecting on 66% of the significant strikes he attempted at distance, while Witt connected on 100% of his significant strikes at distance. My betting advice for that match is to pick Jason Witt.